Welcome, everyone, to the Your Energy First podcast. I'm your host, Emily Marie, and it is such a pleasure to have you here today to co-create with you in this space and to talk about all things your energy. Welcome back to the podcast, back to our time together to help support your energy, activate the next level of you, bring in more support, bring in more grounding, bring in more clarity. This is bringing up in this container today how it is that we perceive energy. And what's coming through for this podcast, what's been inkling at me for at least a week and a half, and I'm excited about all of them. What am I saying? I'm excited about this one. I'm excited about all of them. Like, what topic wouldn't I be excited about around energy work? I'm sure that moment will come. Okay. I'm actually realigning that energy really quick because words are intention, right? Words are so powerful. And I've told this story before. I'm not sure if you've heard it, but I was hosting an energy healing retreat and it was my first one. And I was sitting on the ground and everyone was in these comfortable, cozy chairs and couches. And our backdrop was this gorgeous window to beautiful tall trees, nature, the sound in the background, the Puget Sound in the background, by the way. And we had so many eagles flying by and butterflies, and it was just epic. And this meditation starts, and this was a way for you to connect, or for them to connect more with their spirit guides. And I say, okay, reach out and connect with them. And I see literal, because when you're doing in-person group work, especially, the guides are calling it magnetism of energy amplifies. It's so strong. And we're going to do a third eye activation today, which is funny because the story I'm telling, this came from their third eye. But I said, reach out to your spirit guides. And I saw these they look like heat waves juttering out everyone's forehead. Like, oh, reach out to my spirit guides. Of course. I'm sure this is exactly what I did in the beginning, along with a bunch of other goofy stuff, which is why I'm here, to help you avoid the goofy stuff and get great to the good stuff, so you can then develop your own special magic. So, and I was like, and I go within. And the inner light concept, I don't even think had come into my peripheral yet. And so we went back into our bodies and connected with our spirit guides and spirit team there. And it taught me such a valuable lesson, because think about how our auras are simply your energy fields. The energy that you put out are overlapping all the time. And so these things interact with each other. That's why when you walk past someone and they're a stranger, but it just kind of feels off, it's because they are literally projecting their thoughts into their auric energy field, and then our paths cross. The newsletter I sent out last week talks about holiday hygiene. It was funny. I was playing with a string with my cat, and I was like, this is so cliche. But I found some knitting yarn from my American grandmother from a few years ago, and I was like, cats like this stuff. He was obsessed. Better than any toy. I bought him this like $11 scoot around mouse toy, and he could care less. But oh, the string. So keeping in mind that is also the power within you. The power of your thoughts, the power of your energy, the power of your magnetism is massive. It's so massive. And we're here to cultivate that together during our time. And then you are cultivating that with other people, with other mentors, with other books, with other coaches, through peers, through random people you meet, through posts you see on the internet. There's no one singular way you learn about this stuff. There's no one singular way. So, to that point, I do have an announcement. I've mentioned this a couple of times that I have one, but I am going to be releasing an app, and the purpose behind this app. My purpose for all of this work has always been, how do I help you develop your own energy skill set? And your intuition is one singular tool in your skill set. Your intuition is what guides you in the development of the exploration of your energy and the exploration of all the things you get to experience in this life. And how do you bring that forward in the world? And I'm getting emails from you, and I love every single one of them. The way that you're all having this innate desire to bring more of who you are into this world from an energetic perspective is so magical, so beautiful, so needed. So thank you for doing this work, and thank you for letting me be a part of it. And when I'm wondering why my throat chakra is being activated right now, probably because this has been a really interesting journey for me. When I created the Inner Light Circle community, my intention was to, and this was also back when the pandemic was still a thing, my intention was to help people develop their intuition, their energetic skill set. And what I've learned about myself is I'm really good at doing that one-on-one, because each of you is completely unique. There's definitely similar rhythms and patterns, but the way each of you intuits any little given thing is different. And then also in smaller group settings. So with the community, what I realized is people need a bit more, what's the term? Guideposts? I wanted to say guardrails, but this isn't about restriction. This is about your expansion. And so we do need some steps, steps that still get to be expansive and explored. And so this app is going to be a place where it's as if you would go to an app to pick up a meditation. You will go to this app to say, I want to do my own energy healing work. So there's going to be energy healing meditations. There's going to be energy healing activations, or the guides just gave me another adjustment, but energy activations. There's going to be steps you can take to help you develop your intuition. There's going to be steps you can take to help develop your connection with your guides, and more. So the Inner Light Circle community is going to be shifting for those who want to shift over to the app. There's going to be a free version, and the free version is going to have the basics lined up. So it's going to explain the inner light, which will be new to some people. For those of you who are very comfortable with your inner light and practice it a lot, there's going to be meditations to help you expand and deepen your inner light connection. And there is going to be weekly energy, either meditation or activation added if you become a member. And there's more to come. So one of the things I also want to be really open about is my process. And the reason I'm sharing my process with you is because I've noticed in this last year and a half since I started working for myself full time, I guess it's been a little bit longer than that, is I have gotten to where I'm at from a spiritual level, from an energetic level, from a business level, because I failed over and over and over and over and over and over. I mean, it's just a bunch of failures, basically. But I've had this guiding light inside me that encourages me to keep going, that gives me moments, peaks of new levels of joy, of new levels of, right now, what the guides are calling adjustments into life. I have a lot of the same people in my life that I had 10 plus years ago, because I really went through a deep, I'm going to call it dark night of the soul, but it wasn't quite that. And it was long and it was hard. I'm actually going to be interviewing one of my friends for the podcast because she is very, very light yet in any type of energy work she does, but she's one of my dearest friends, and she's seen me through this transition process. And I want to help shed some light on the fact that I think sometimes we hear these stories, Jesus, Buddha, well, I guess not Buddha actually, but you look at Jesus, it's like he was born with these abilities and gifts. So we have this impression, oh, if I'm not born with these abilities and gifts, I must not be the chosen one. And instead, what happens, but then I guess Buddha is a good example, because he was a prince and then dedicated himself to a new path and a new journey. So the same people are around me, not all the same, of course. New incredible people have shown up. I'm still living in a home that I love dearly and that is like an oasis to me, which is why I'm super particular about how I share it online, as you can imagine. And so I want to share with you this evolution, this process, these failures that I've had, because without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And where I'm at, and my life before was really good. It was great, actually. There's a lot of really good things about it. But in my heart, I knew that there was something more that I was meant to experience, give to myself, and then give back to the world, which I know each of you feels something similar, because that's why we're here. That is why we're here. So I know that in America culture, okay, and I know that this does spread into other cultures as well, but we have this idea of like, if you build it, they will come. Or we don't see the challenges that happen before the victory. And the hero's journey is something we all relate to, because the hero comes up against strife, and then there's a way out and they succeed. And that is very true. What happens is that hero, you being the hero, reach these moments of friction, unease, feeling a little bit like, I want more in life. I want more. And you deserve more. You deserve more. Imagine you getting to experience and be more, having more joy, more laughter, more fun, more experiences. What vibration does that give off in the world? More of the vibration that we need. Also, when you experience and have more, you get to support more people, which is the name of the game, is you hold and raise your vibration so we can help raise the vibration of others and help each other out. So why am I sharing all of this? So I think the hero's journey, the part is, it's not just one thing that the hero comes up against and strife, and then I've reached the promised land. It's more like strife. Ooh, that feels good. Ooh, this is working. Strife. Ooh, wait, this feels even better than before. This is really good. This is working. Oh, this lesson again in this way, shape, or form. Ooh, wait, I've evolved now. So there's really a lot to unpack. And because in America, in modern culture in America, we think everything has to be perfect and look a certain way in order for it to be right. I want to show you, okay, I have tried things on. In a lot of ways they worked, and in a lot of ways they didn't. And now I am refining and recreating. And it's really forcing me to stay true to what's in alignment for me. Now, keep in mind, the Inner Light community I have loved. The people love, adore. Everybody's there because, hey, we're all curious about ourselves. And forming this community online in the means that the different technologies we used, it's just, I actually knew when I started the community that it had a lifespan. And I was like, no, I want it to be forever. Because that's the inner child in me, right? That wants safety and that wants connection and that doesn't want to fail. And so I really took a look at this and thought, okay, what will this next stage of development be like? And we may actually roll out the app with not the new branding I'm working on. But what matters to me, first and foremost, is what is the intention? What is this space I'm holding for this app? What is it bringing to people? That's number one. So you guys are like, I'm like, I don't care if the button is teal or forest green, or if it is purple, or if it is hot pink. If you tell me I can connect with my higher self and feel more calm for 3 minutes in my day, don't give a damn about that button color. So letting go of this need for things to be perfect, and when we let go of this thing that we've been taught about how things need to be perfect, then you get to explore. You get to say, who am I? Who do I get to be? Who do I want to be? What does it look like? Oh my gosh, I just took a moment and made sure that my podcast was being recorded on this device. That's really funny. So I'm creating as I go. I'm feeling into it. I'm not pushing things. I'm not, I'm working with a company that's developing the app. And so I have been so upfront, and they've been great to work with, because I'm like, look, there is a greater purpose behind this. There is a flow. I am trusting the process. Like, it won't all be videos. Some of it's going to be audio. They're like, we're fine. Like, with whatever you need to create, we'll create it. So the purpose behind the app is that you learn further from what you've already taught yourself, how to continue to develop and expand and do your own energy work. That's the whole point. And it also gives you space to be magic throughout different parts of your day and your week and your month. Because the irony is that one of these other podcasts is really going to kind of tune into the importance that I've talked about on a couple of podcasts, but Spirit's really asking us as a collective to dig deep and to carve out, like, we have to carve out dedicated personal space for ourselves in the day. They're like 20 to 30 minutes. And at the same time, we need to be human, and we need to live, and we need to be and experience and have fun. And so this is also going to show you different ways you can develop your energy tools and how to do energy work while you're in the throes of life. And not just when you're sitting down, cultivating you. So what else? We're not, the third eye activation isn't coming up quite yet. What I'm looking at is, so one of the things that they're showing me, my spirit guides, my spirit team are showing me, is how when you do anything, buy a house, move, job, relationship, they want you to realize you are always creating. You are always creating. And that puts the power back in you. So as you decide what you want to wear that day, you decide what it is you want to do, who you want to connect with, realize you are creating. They're saying, even as you are, let's see, this is the first time that I've heard this, so I'm pausing for a second to receive this information. This is interesting. So even when you do healing work on yourself, you are creating, because energy is moving. And you're saying to yourself, I'm ready for the next version of me, the next level of me. In the last podcast, I made the comment about how, because we're all energy, being human is an experience we're all choosing to have. Kind of like, oh, I'm putting on those jeans today. That's the experience I want to have. Doesn't quite do it justice, but that's the comparison we're going with. And I was like, gosh, this feels kind of, it doesn't really satisfy this journey that we're on. And our soul takes on different types of forms, in this case, human form. They are saying for the good and the bad being the stuff that we've come to heal, but the bad varies, of course. But they say we're kind of forgetting that we're also supposed to create like, how much can you create? How good can it get? How big can it get for you? How big and expansive and flowing and abundant in all ways can it really be for you? How peaceful in your mind and in your heart does it get to be for you? Keeping in mind, we have these natural life experiences that kind of say, hey, there's more for you out here, or this is something we want you to focus on. Okay, so after I recorded that last podcast episode and I had made that statement, one of the things my spirit guides showed me is they showed me this experience I had, and I have never been interested in drugs growing up of any kind. My intuitive knowing told me, you already perceive these things. You do not want to amplify them. And I said, that sounds very accurate, because I was so scared. I was fearful all the time, actually, now that I think about it, because going into any new building, as soon as it got dark and I had all those things, I was perceiving so much, right? And keep in mind, while I was seeing those things, I was also feeling and experiencing spirit, which was warmth, safety, blessings. So there was a very good balance in my life. I want to make that very clear, because I had the support and safety growing up. To me, that's why I went through what I went through for 10 plus years consciously. I was going through it because I had to go through it as a child, but then in my early 20s, I was like, okay, I got to figure something out here. Actually, I think it was my mid 20s. So then I started to explore these things, and because I was able to, didn't really feel like it was by choice, but as I explored these things, because I had comfort and safety in my life, to me, I was able to go to those depths, learn. And now I'm sharing what I've learned, which is universal laws of energy. This is how you develop your own energetic skill set, bring it to the world, how you become your own transformational energy healer. What? Why is it cutting out like that? Oh gosh, are you kidding me? Am I supposed to tell this part? I got a yes. Well, it was brought to me and then I just confirmed. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, there we go. So not wanting to do drugs, that was why. And I think I tried a few things. They never really did much for me. They usually made me feel kind of crappy in comparison. So I just thought, okay, not for me. And then it was actually recently that I microdosed. It was edibles, that was chocolate, mushrooms, and they were from someone that I trusted. We were in another part of the world. We were sitting with our butts in the sand, feet in the sand, by the ocean, and it felt good. I mean, it felt right to enjoy these. And obviously I was grounded. I was communing with the ocean, and it was great. It felt great. It was funny. My friend kind of she didn't make fun of me, but she was like, wow, you're taking a really small amount. And I was like, I am sensitive. And it was great. Loved it. So then we went back to this house, this gorgeous house that we were staying in. And it's evening time. We've had dinner. Time for the next round. And I'm like, sure. And again, I take the smallest amount imaginable. And again, my friend kind of jokes with me a little bit, and I'm like, I get it, but I have to honor what feels right. She's like, of course. She was very supportive. And then all of a sudden I start to see all kinds of things on all my friends, and unpleasant things, dark things, little dark bits and bobs all around. And finally, after about 20 or 30 minutes, I was like, I'm going to go to bed. And they're like, good night. And I got back to my room and I refreshed my energy and I checked in and I said, okay, this is what I need right now. I need support. I need clearing, grounding. Called in all kinds of divine protection for myself. And I said, I'm ready to reset and learn from this. And part of what I learned from that experience is that what I was perceiving is just normal human emotions rolling around us, right? I'm sure if I'd looked at myself in the mirror, I would have seen the same darn thing on me or a similar version of it. And my friends are not like bad people, you know, they're good people. We all have this stuff that we're processing. So I was thinking about that. My guides reminded me of it when I said, you know, why are we here as humans? And they're actually saying that in this lifetime in particular, we're bringing more forward than we would in most lifetimes. And they're saying because the energies are here to support the cleansing, to support the transition, to support the transformation, which is beautiful. Really, really beautiful. So we are now getting ready for this activation. And it still needs a bit more time. And before we lean into it, the other piece to these supportive energies that are helping us all out, the other part that's coming forward is the fact that our planet, our dear, dear planet, part of the reason that we are in the state of distress that we are, because keep in mind, Mother Earth is her own entity of the light, her own energetic being. She could wipe us all out, no problem. She could be like, you know what, you guys, too much. It's too much. What we don't as a modern culture do enough is commune with her. And our beautiful meat suits that we've all chosen to be in this lifetime actually have a place, which is with her. And that is why, and it's actually a very, very special gift. It's a gift that we get to transform into humans in this lifetime. That we get to experience the pleasure and the blisses of life. And that we get to see the beauty of nature, and that nature helps you create and helps you release and helps you ground and all of these things. And again, in my culture, at least I'll say, we have missed that mark. We've gotten so far away from that. And so the climate issues that we're heading towards is all in divine timing as well. Because as we heal ourselves, we then have more capacity to help and support, heal the space we're in, heal others, and help transform that. And that is the greatest purpose of it all. The guides are saying, what greater love there, how did they say that? What greater love there is. Okay. Spiritual activation, your third eye. This activation that's coming around is enwrapping you, us, in gold light. This is an energy activation that's for the highest good of all involved. And speaking of Mother Earth energies, we're receiving a lot of grounding support for this one. So part of the reason being is that our third eye activations, I want to say it can sometimes be the scariest to the human mind. And the whole point of this activation is that you feel safe in expanding your third eye. So we are going to safely, oh my gosh, the guides just joked, expose your third eye at your next level, whatever your next level is. Okay. And they're currently working on the back part of the third eye chakra. So if you bring your attention to your inner light, just acknowledge it in whatever way feels good for you. Taking just a couple of gentle breaths and just notice what your breath is doing. And give yourself grace. You've come this far. You're doing so amazing. And from your inner light, set the intention that within this golden room, ward, bubble, whatever you want to call it, that we're in, which is actually picking up on a lot of debris that's being sloughed off right now. And it's taking care of that debris for us. Set the intention that you are ready for the next level, for your third eye to open, awaken, expand. Know that you are being guided, divinely protected, and that all of this is shaping up for your highest good and well-being, they're adding. So get excited. Let's see. They just brought some multi-dimensional, multicolored violet energy. It's like violet, and then it's deep purple, and then it's sparkly. And there's some real depth in there too. I've noticed sometimes these they're of the light, but they're sort of darker energies have to come forward to help release some of the older energies. The guides just use the term balance. So whenever the darker energies come in, I always have to double, triple check what it is. Like, we don't want anything sneaking in here. But what you do is you hold your light and you say, show me that you are of the light. And it either washes away or it shows you its undertones, which is the light. And it can't not. That's one of the universal laws of energy. And now this huge beam of bright light just came through. Just in case there's any doubt. And this is raising your overall vibration. It's actually taking me to the cells of your body, the cells of our bodies. As you explore the beingness of your third eye, look at it from a sense of wonder. Look at it from a sense of knowing your power. They're saying there's no good or bad. They're saying what is? What is? And what is it's safe for you to explore the expansion of your third eye. It's part of who you're meant to be. Amazing, amazing work, everyone. I have decided, I have felt intuitively to keep the spots open, open a few more spots for the alignment container if you want to do this work one-on-one. If you want to feel more, experience more, be more in your life. We cover so much, so much. And the app will be out and available soon. I will put it in my show notes. You'll see it on social media. As always, I'd love to hear from you. connect@emilymarie.com. Oh, that's another thing. I had 2 email addresses, team@emilymarie and connect@emilymarie, and we're going to be streamlining connect@emilymarie moving forward. The team isn't going to go away for a while, or the team at Emily Marie. But again, this is one of the things that I kind of goofed up on. Someone had created the team one for me, and then I liked Connect better. And then I realized I was emailing the same clients from 2 different email addresses. Goofy. We're streamlining. Feel brave enough to screw up today. and enjoy what you learn from it. You are amazing. Thank you for bringing your light into this world. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review, and make sure you've signed up for the newsletter for special insights, offerings, and announcements that are just for you. This podcast and website represents the opinions of Emily Marie and her guests to the show and website. The content should not be taken as medical advice. The content here is for informational purposes only, and because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional for any medical advice, recommendations, and questions. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast and website are our own and do not represent that of our places of work. While we make every effort to ensure that the information we are sharing is accurate, we welcome any comments, suggestions, or correction of errors.